In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a new rainbow loom bracelet called the Long Cross Quad Stripe. So what you will need to make this bracelet is one loom, and you want to move your blue connector pieces away from one another. We're going to be working with the length of 4 pins, so you just want to make sure that your connector pieces are away from the length of 4 pins, so your bracelet has room to work its way down through the open space. And I've chosen 4 colors. I have white and peach, and then a lighter orange and a darker orange. So where we're going to start is we're going to start on the 3rd pin in from the left-hand side of your loom, and I'm going to start with white. So what I'm going to do is stretch this band from that 3rd pin up and diagonally to the right, but I'm not going to the next row over. I'm skipping this row and going to the 2nd row up. So it's going to stretch up to the 2nd row from where we started and twist. Now I'm going to move to the next pin over to the right, where I'm going to place my next band, and this time I have peach. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up and diagonally to the right, cross over this very next row and go to the 2nd row up and twist. And now from here I want to work my way back down, so I'm going to go to the pin below, and this time I'm going to put my dark orange on this pin, because what I want to have happen is I want my bracelet to get progressively darker as I go across these 4 pins. So since this is going to be the end, I want that to be the darkest band. So I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go diagonally up to the left. Again, I'm crossing over 2 rows, so I'm skipping the row next to it and going to the 2nd row up and twist. And then finally I'm going to go to the next pin over to the left, and I'm going to again go up and diagonally to the left, cross over to the 2nd row and twist. So that is what the bottom layer will look like. And now we want to start our 2nd layer. So again, I'm going to start with white, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the bottom left pin and put this band just up to the pin above it. It's going to be vertically up and down. Then I'm going to go to the next pin over, and I'm going to do peach this time. I'm going to be putting the colors that are on these front pins are always going to stay the same. So next I'm going to do peach. Again, I'm just putting it straight up and down. To the next pin up to the right, I'm going to do the light orange, and then go up to the right again, and on this pin will be the dark orange. And that is the 2nd layer. And now for the 3rd layer, I'm going to repeat the same pattern that I did for the 1st layer. So again, I'm going to start on the far left pin, and again it's going to be white, and you do want to push all of these down so that you have room to add your next bands. And so again, I'm going to go up and diagonally to the right to the 2nd row up. This time I do not need to twist, only for the very bottom layer. And then I'm going to go to the next pin up to the right, and this time I'm going to do peach. And again, it's going to be that long stretch. And now I want to work my way back, so I'm going to go to the pin below where I just ended that last band, and I'm going to go up and diagonally to the left over 2 rows to the 2nd row over, and then I'm going to go to the next pin over to the left, and this time I want my lighter orange, and again I'm going up and diagonally to the left over to the 2nd row over. And then that's the 3rd layer. So if you look at how many bands you have on each pin, what we're doing is we're just removing the very bottom layer. You should have 3 bands on every pin. So what I'm going to do is just work my way around removing the bottom layer. So I'm going to take my hook, grab the very bottom band that is white, pull it out and over the top, go up to the next pin. Again, just grab the bottom band, pull it over the top. Just going to keep going to the right hand side, removing the very bottom band and over the top. Flip to the other side and do the same thing. So grab the bottom and pull it over the top, and then we're just going to work our way down until we get to the start. And then you want to push all of this down. So that was a layer where we did long crosses, and so for our next layer we're going to be doing just the band straight up and down again. So again, I'm starting on the bottom left, and I'm going to do white, and then for the next one up I'm going to do peach, and then up to the next we're going to do the lighter orange and then the dark orange. And so once again, I have 3 layers on. So from now on, every time I put a layer on, I want to take a layer off. So again, I'm just going to start at the bottom left and take my hook, grab the bottom band and pull it over the top and release. I'm going to do this for all of the pins, just taking one band off of the bottom of every pin. Flip to the other side and repeat. Just going to work my way back down. And then again, push all of this down. And now, since that was our vertical layer, next we're going to do the long crosses. So again, I'm going to start with white, go to that bottom left, and put it up and diagonally to the right across 2 rows. And then I'm going to go to the pin up above and do the peach, do that long cross up and to the right, and then work my way back down. And then go to the pin to the left, and again we're doing that long cross up and diagonally to the left. And then once again, I'm going to remove the very bottom layer from all of the pins. And then flip to the other side and do the same thing. Just take the very bottom one, and then I'm going to push all of this down. So I'm just going to keep repeating that same pattern. It's going to be long crosses and then vertical up and down, and just alternate every time. And for this bracelet, I just want to make sure that I'm putting that same color band on these front pins every time, so it stays a solid color. So it's going to be a stripe when it is done. And on the back side, it's going to be alternating. It's a reversible bracelet. So now I'm going to do the white again with vertical up and down, and just again keep working my way, making the colors darker as I go. Now of course you can do any colors that you want, and if you're not worried about light to dark, you can do any design that you choose. Now I'm going to remove the bottom layer once again. So hopefully by now you're getting the hang of it. And then push all of this down. I'll show you the long crosses one more time and then I'll fast forward. So starting at the bottom left, I'm going to stretch up across to the second row up, move to the next pin up to the right, again stretch up to the second row up from where I started. And then I'm going to go to the pin below and go down, up and diagonally to the left with a long stretch, and then again with my last one. And then take all of the bottom layer off, just one band from every pin. And do the same on the other side. And push all of this down. And then for my next layer, I'm going to do the vertical up and down bands once again. So I'm going to fast forward here, and when I get to a point where my bracelet's long enough, I will show you how to take it off. And just a quick note, as your bracelet starts to grow, it's going to work its way down through this open area. But this bracelet is sort of a fat bracelet, so it's a little hard to work its way down. So you have to really help it out from the top and push it down. And then once it gets to a certain level, you can start pulling it down from the bottom, and it's much easier then to work with, and it won't feel so tight on the pins up above. Now when you have your bracelet to the length that you'd like it and you're ready to take it off the loom, I would suggest that you do your last layer where you've placed the bands vertically up and down. So if you want to stop there, then you should have 2 bands on all of the pins. So if you just remove the bottom band from every pin, just one single band, so you want to start on the bottom left, and you want to take the band that is on that pin, get it on your hook, and move it up to the one above it, and then take the bottom band and move it over the top. Do the same thing for the next one up. Take the band on the front pin and place it on the pin above, right on the top, and then take that bottom band and pull it over the top. Go up to the next and do the same thing. Get that band right on the top, and then take the bottom band and pull it over. And then finally, again, take that front pin, put it on the pin above, and then take that bottom band and pull it over the top. So now you're left with just 4 single bands all on the middle row. And so now take the band on the left pin and get it on your hook, and then move it over to the right, put it right on the top, and then take your band all the way to the far right, get that on your hook, and move that into the left, again put it right on the top, and then take the very bottom band and move it over the top for both of those pins. And now you should be left with just 2 single bands on 2 pins. And so just pick one of the bands up, go to the very next pin and pick the second band up, so you have both bands on your hook, 2 bands. And then I like to take this end row off so it's easy to get this out. And then take a clip. I have an S clip here, and I want to get both of these loose bands to hook onto the S clip. Then you can slide your hook out. And if you think this is too wide for just one hook, you can leave the bands more separated and put 2 clips on the end. if you don't like it all in one. And then just go to the other side of the bracelet and again take a couple bands from the end and then hook that on the other side of the clip. And then here is your bracelet. It's got the 4 stripes on the one side, and then on the reverse side it has a mix of the colors. Now here is another bracelet that I've made the same way, only I've used pink instead of orange. And here's the flip side of that. And then also I'll show you another design that I made. This was just using 2 colors, using black and white. And then here's what the reverse of that looks like.